What's up guys, it's Elliot here, and today I'm bringing you my official triple tank meta guide. Basically just going to explain how it works, how to abuse it, and hopefully help you guys get a lot of wins because a lot of people are trying it and it's incredibly strong and it can beat a lot of other normally good comps. So let's get into it. So firstly, the biggest thing with triple tank is just Onna. We saw that in Season 2. It's still great in Season 3, even though it works maybe not very, but differently now. So in Season 2, it was basically just get Nano, Beyblade your Reaper, and he'd wipe a team. That's pretty good. Not good anymore because Nano got nerfed, and well, now it doesn't give speed boost, so it's harder to get that person in position. Because you could still get Reaper in position, but it's not quite as effective. And the biggest thing is these changes is with Diva buffed and Soldier buffed, it really helps. If you can set up your team, it can really protect your damage very effectively. And now the thing is the tanks are actually kind of just damage. People originally thought that Diva and Winston were kind of competing for the save role as like a dive tank when they buffed Diva, but really they just made Diva more of a DPS. She can fly at anyone she wants, she can keep up with them. She has way too much health now for like DPS to wipe her quickly, especially with defense matrix, and she can just wreck supports in the backline. And that's probably the best thing. Her ult is insanely offensive, so bingo, more DPS right there. And she just is incredibly hard to get rid of, which makes her more effective than maybe a hero like a Reaper or a Genji who's trying to flank. It's incredibly hard to wipe 3 tanks, especially because Onna can just heal them relentlessly. They're huge targets, it's hard to miss. Her Biotic Grenade is incredible. It makes her ability to heal tanks is just unrivaled in this game. And especially when you can just set up behind like a Rhine or just 3 tanks diving in the middle of you, it's hard to deal with that because they're all over you and Onna can still heal them and she can deal damage, and it's just insane because they're hard to wipe and they take a lot of focus fire. And that's the biggest thing, is why do you need to have all this skill to play a hero like Genji or Tracer, who has to be zipping in and out and everything, when you could just, who requires obviously a lot of focus fire attention, but instead you could just play Diva and fly in the middle, and because she's so hard to kill, it still takes so much focus fire to kill her, but this time you've got another team, you got your whole team coming in, so just doing a flanker, and you have to take 600 HP out instead of like 150 on Tracer. It's incredible, and that's the thing that makes tanks so powerful, is they do so much damage and they have so much HP, and they require so much less skill to maximize that out of than it does like a Tracer or Genji. So why not run them? Now the other thing, and probably this is the second most important thing, is a Roadhog. So triple tank could really be 2-2-2 if you caught a Roadhog as a DPS, but when you can set him up behind like a Diva and a Rhine, you can just expose the enemy team because he's not going to die between defense matrix and a Rhine shield, and his ability to get picks and do all that damage. The damage from the tanks is insane, including Roadhog, and he can just get a hook. And he can hook them, he can do good damage, and then of course you have a Diva and a Rhine to follow up right on it. And that's what's insane about it, especially when you're considering that Onna can just keep healing your Roadhog who's trying to get the kills. And if someone gets picked by their Roadhog, Onna can try to heal them. And it's a whole lot of like just healing and exchanging this damage back and forth and waiting for the Roadhogs to get a pick, waiting for maybe your Diva to get like a pick in the back line, something like that. And the other thing, the third thing would be, while all this is going on, this whole skirmish, you got Onna back line, you've got Soldier now, incredibly buffed, does incredible damage, melt shields, and now if you can maximize your damage to the enemy's headshot hitbox, does incredible damage too. So you can keep him protected in the back line, protecting your healers. All his tanks are going on, you can just keep firing, and it does insane damage, and it's so much safer, where Reaper would have to be right next to them and everything. Soldier can just be melting them from a distance, protecting your healer, who obviously, Onna with Sleep Dart, has a lot of ability to protect herself. Anyways, just like, it's so hard to wipe them, especially when they're coming on a flank. So it just kind of ends up being this whole like blob of a mess of tanks that are hard to kill, waiting for a Roadhog to just like get a hook and kill someone, and then that's kind of what the game is. And then once someone goes down, you can the team just pushes in because man advantage is so crucial in this game. So it just kind of ends up being this thing where you have 3 tanks and Anna relentlessly healing them. And whoever gets the first pick, whether it be comboing from Roadhog's damage, a Diva dive, maybe a Rhine pin, just one of these tank initiation crucial abilities that makes them so effective at getting a pick, they get a pick, and suddenly now you can just go in. And it's incredibly strong, and unfortunately it's incredibly stale because it requires so much less skill to master. It still takes skill, don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of game sense and all that, but it takes so much less skill to master this compared to like the beginning of the game when it took incredible skill for like a Widow or Genji to be maximized and all this stuff. And while you can still run, there are pro teams and people out there who are still really good at running like 2 DPS, maybe even 3 DPS, very rarity, but there are pros who do that. It takes so much more skill. It's so much harder to maximize that when you could just maximize 3 tanks, which are all considerably easier to play, with a good Onna, and just let that be abused. And then you can nano, and you can just get a pin or pick or whatever, and the tanks are so hard to kill. So to end this video, I just want to talk about how to fix this. This whole, like, you wait for the tanks, just heal the tanks, let them poke at the choke, and then wait for them to get a pick with one of their abilities. And the way to fix that is simply just probably to nerf Onna, as they've kept saying. I don't know how much more they can nerf her, because I think she's always going to be good at healing, and that's the unfortunate side, is her healing is so good against for tanks. I think they'll have to nerf her grenade. I think that's the other thing, but I think they're going to also have to probably nerf Diva back to kind of what she was. Maybe make her less of a DPS. Maybe actually not get rid of her HP, but maybe get rid of her damage again. Just make it so there's better DPS options instead of tank options. And that's the other thing. And maybe they need to focus on trying to nerf Roadhog this time, because he is kind of the pinnacle of this, because his hook provides the best way to set up a pin. Reinhardt, I don't think they're going to try to touch Rhine with like nerfing a pin, because pin's always been good and he's the only tank. But they're adding in Doomfist pretty soon, so that might actually make this even worse. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll think of some way to make tanks less effective at killing people than the DPS. Maybe that be through buffing some DPS, maybe nerfing Onna, probably nerfing healing, maybe increasing Zen's ability to get rid of tanks with Discord, maybe buffing Mercy again to make her viable and make DPSs better with her damage boost. I don't know, something to make damage from DPSs what damage is from tanks right now. And it does sound so weird saying, because obviously DPS should be the ones doing more damage than tanks. So unfortunately, the meta's in this position right now. I actually personally am not complaining, because I'm a tank main, and I love being able to like play all the tanks and feeling so strong with 3 tanks, and I'm really enjoying it a lot, even though it is starting to get a little stale, and I would like to see some more variety. So hopefully Blizzard gets on this, but hopefully you're able to play this effectively. Hopefully you're able to pick these heroes, combo well, and hopefully you're able to communicate to get some pins and picks, and hopefully this helps you understand why it's so good and like how to play it and everything like that, how to combo and everything. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.